guys, and welcome to the finale of Bachelorette Forecast. We saw Rachel give out her final rose last night. Lots of controversy with that, but, you know, it was a dramatic ending, and Rachel, in the end, looked very happy. So we have a lot to talk about today. So here at Bachelorette Forecast, you know, we've been forecasting what's going to happen each and every week this entire season, and also talking about the episode in depth. So today, we have nothing much to forecast, but we want to get into the details of just how Rachel chose her final
I feel like every season, Chris Harrison says this will be the most dramatic finale we've ever had. And he might have lived up to that finally last night. I mean, those 3 hours, I feel like I was really on my toes most of the time. But I you know what? I really liked that they had Rachel sitting out there during the live show with Chris Harrison, kind of taking the viewers along in real time.
Exactly, and I completely agree. I mean, that was the first time they've ever had the Bachelor or Bachelorette sitting out there during the live show and actually watching the finale with the audience, with Chris Harrison, and even talking about it throughout the finale. I mean, usually we have the after the final rose.
Right, so you don't see the couple until they come out together.
Exactly.
But you know what? My first thought was, this means the producers really have a lot of trust in Rachel to not slip up on live TV. So I think that says a lot about her. But while I liked having her bring us along, it also just felt kind of stunted, like she's holding something back because she can't really give us her real opinions on how she's feeling in the moment because it could give away the ending.
Right, exactly. That's how I felt too. I mean, it was, you know, it was interesting to see the guys' reactions right after they saw themselves up on the screen.
Yeah, the guys backstage was dramatic.
It was very dramatic. You can really see their emotions, I feel, so much more than when they were on After the Final Rose, after the whole thing has ended. So I think doing it during the actual finale and during the episode made a complete difference on actually seeing how the guys emotionally were feeling. So overall, you know, it was a very exciting episode. I feel like this is one of the first times going into the finale that I literally had no idea what was going to happen.
Oh, I knew exactly what was going to happen.
I had no idea.
I just got my gloating in there. I've been right the whole season long.
That's right.
I predicted last night when I was watching with Blair, one of the video producers, I was telling her, I bet 8:45 p.m. is when Eric's going to go home. And
that's
lo and
exactly
behold,
what
that's what happened. So
we got one of our best forecasters right here.
Right. So I mean, last night's finale was new in the fact that there were 3 guys in that final episode, but Eric was the first of those 3 to be eliminated, which didn't surprise me at all. I mean, I think Rachel never was considering marrying him, is my opinion. She just liked him. But they weren't going to end up getting married, and I think Eric's going to have no problem finding
Exactly. I completely agree. I completely agree. And, you know, they had the rose ceremony. That was early in the episode, and we do have that moment right here of Eric's final elimination.
So coming into this week, I really was hoping to gain a lot of clarity. But if I'm honest with myself, I'm more confused than ever. And that's not where I thought that I was going to be. And the only thing I know to do is be true to what I want for myself at the end of this. And I want a proposal. You know, I didn't come here to date. I didn't come here to have a boyfriend. I came here to cultivate a relationship that's moving towards the common goal of marriage. And I realize how much I want that for myself more than ever. I don't think you're ever prepared to send someone home. But the realness of the situation is that I have to compare the relationships I have against one another. Bryan. Bryan, will you accept this rose? With Peter and Eric, it's like, well, which one do you want? Do you want the guy who is saying, I love you, but I myself personally don't feel like he's ready for marriage? Or do I go with the guy who I feel like is ready for marriage, he's just not willing to propose at this time? The only thing I can do at this point is to follow my heart and my gut, and hopefully that leads me in the right direction. Peter.
An extremely difficult moment for Rachel right there, having to send Eric home. She really deeply cared about Eric, but she even said it. She loved him. She wasn't in love with him. So I didn't think that they would ever really make it to the finale
and that
together.
wasn't even one of the most emotional goodbyes Rachel's had this season. So
right, exactly.
I think, she knew that was the right time for Eric to go. And you know what? When he confronted her live on After the Final Rose, Eric looked good. I think he's going to have no problem of Bachelor Nation fans wanting to date him.
All the girls were loving Eric when he came back. I mean, he is a good-looking guy. He got so much popularity during this entire season. He was just growing and growing as a man during the season, and everyone was really starting to fall in love with Eric. And, Eric, even during that final, when she did that final rose ceremony, he felt so confident. And he even talked about some of that during the live moment. He was really surprised. He felt confident that he was going to get the rose over Peter, who didn't want to propose. So that's why he had so much confidence. He really felt like him and Rachel had that connection. And we also have that moment of Rachel and Eric talking about this live right after he had to see himself eliminated during that rose ceremony.
Was it frustrating to know that you were prepared to get down on one knee, and then there's a guy like Peter still there who knows if he's ready?
I was confused. I was like, I'm going home? Like, that was the first time the whole season I was in a rose ceremony and I was comfortable. Like, oh, I'm good.
Really? So you were confident?
Prior to that, I was just shaking and nervous.
Right.
I was just like, oh, I'm here. Peter just said he's not. So I was like, okay, let's move forward then. I get it. What can I do? So it was tough, but things happen. So
you changed a lot.
I did.
You fell in love for the first time.
First time. Yeah, it was beautiful. And, I'm very analytical and I think a lot. And I think prior to the experience, my heart was broken. Never had love in my heart. And with Rachel, she fulfilled my heart. And so that's what I was lacking my whole life. So I just want to say thank you for giving me that and allowing me to receive love from you, because now I'm a man. I was a boy and became a man because I got love now. So now I'm full. And then my life really can begin. And I really can take off. And I really can do the things I always wanted to do. So thanks to you, young lady. You helped me. Help you, help us.
And Rachel, if you can give Eric, maybe even just one reason why you said goodbye.
I mean, I kind of already said it a little bit, but it's not that I didn't love you. It's just that I had to compare what I had with the other two men left. Right. And, it's so hard because it's not that the feelings weren't there. Right. It's just that they were stronger with someone else. Right. But, I think the journey that we had, and I'm happy to have met you, to be a part of your journey. You're going to be so great for someone else. It's a little hard for me to say that, but I mean, that's like the truth.
Yeah,
like,
really?
No, but you are such a beautiful person, and I am so glad America got to see that.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that's, perfect mature closure right there for Rachel and Eric, which brings me to my favorite part of last night's episode, the most dramatic part, I think. Rachel and Peter's final date and breakup.
Awful.
Heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to watch. I mean, they're both crying. They both didn't want to say goodbye. The tear stains on Peter's shirt, that really stuck with me. But I just that was a very real conversation, and it's about a real issue. He doesn't want to propose yet. He's ready to commit to her, commit to a life with her, but he doesn't want to propose yet. And I am so Team Peter on this one. Right. I mean, they've only known each other for 6 to 8 weeks. They've never even been in an exclusive relationship yet. I get that Peter wants to, go see each other's towns, decide which city they're going to live in.
Actually get to know each other outside of this fantasy world that is the Bachelorette. Right. And, everything he said was so mature. It made so much sense. It was so real. I mean, he is not living in a fantasy world, and that's how relationships actually last. So that's why I don't understand, how she didn't get where he was coming from. All she kept saying is, I want an engagement. I want a ring. This is all I care about.
I think
she got wrapped up.
Yes, I think she felt a lot of pressure when you're the Bachelorette. You think, I would think that you think the goal is to get engaged, and you would look like a failure if you don't. So I think she was so wrapped up, and she's, caught in this world for weeks on end where all you're thinking about is finding the right guy to propose to you.
Right.
And that definitely got to her, and I feel like she would feel embarrassed maybe if she came home with Peter is her committed boyfriend, but not a ring on her finger. But in the real world, I mean, I think she and Peter would have been great together.
I really think they would have too. And I mean, this was weighing on her for a lot of this episode, even with her other dates with Bryan. I mean, she was thinking about, you know, in the back of her mind, thinking about Peter. I mean, even in this vineyard date, Bryan even said something to Rachel, you know, I feel like you're off. I feel like there's something different. I feel like it's all because Peter was in her head. It was tearing her apart because she was so in love with Peter, I believe, that it was breaking her heart that she couldn't be with him because she cared more about the engagement.
And I think the fact that Rachel is still, I don't know what to say, in love, but maybe in love, definitely loves Peter. The live show.
Yeah.
Peter and Rachel's confrontation on the live show, to me, I think Peter handled that way better than Rachel did.
I agree.
To me, she seemed kind of still bitter.
Right.
When,
100%.
She 3 times says to him, you know, maybe if this was too slow for you to be ready for engagement, you're just not right for this process. 3 times. I think that's her way of saying, please don't be the Bachelor.
Right. I don't think she could handle actually watching him as the Bachelor.
Yes.
I mean, she was like giving it to him. And I mean, this poor guy, he's sitting there on this couch, he's shaking, he's halfway crying, absolutely, completely heartbroken. And she, I think, puts up some kind of defense mechanism to try to, you know, put away her feelings for Peter and make it look like, you know, I'm so happy, everything's so great, this is all so wonderful. But really, she's just trying to, you know, black out the fact that she still loves him. And that's why she was, you know, being so defensive.
Another
like
example of that. So last night at the live episode, Peter apologizes to Rachel for saying during their breakup date, you know, you're settling for a life of mediocrity if you pick not me. Really saying if you pick Bryan.
He was in the moment. I mean, that's something you say when you're in the moment. He was absolutely, completely upset.
And in the live show, he apologizes. But Rachel's response...
I thought that part of the entire episode is what stuck with me the most. I'm living my best life. I mean,
that's what Rachel said back to him.
So uncalled for. I mean, he was like, if you saw his face after she said that, it actually cut to commercial break right after that. His face was just like, I mean, it was like this poor guy is completely falling apart.
Bachelor Nation agrees. They think Rachel is settling. And in my mind, that I'm living my best life comment was defensive.
It was defensive.
And I feel like if she's genuinely happy in her new engaged relationship with Bryan,
then what does she have to prove?
Wouldn't need to, you wouldn't need to defend it, especially because you guys are about to come out together on live TV.
Exactly.
You know, showing off the ring, showing off this People magazine cover. You can just enjoy being engaged and being happy. I don't think you need to go over the top saying, I'm so happy.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I feel like out of this whole thing, you know, you obviously see Peter is completely heartbroken. He feels like Rachel's attacking him, everything. It's just an awful moment on that live stage with Peter. But after thinking about all of that, in my mind, I mean, Bryan, was he the consolation prize? Because, I mean, would she have chosen Peter if he did get down on one knee?
A lot of Bachelor Nation is thinking that.
That's how I feel because she loved Peter. She was clearly completely torn apart and heartbroken that he just wouldn't propose. That was the only factor that was stopping them from staying together at that moment. So was Bryan the consolation prize? I mean, it felt that way during the proposal. I mean, I feel like, you know, like it's...
To me too.
He was the one that was left. He was the one that was left. He was the one that was going to propose.
And he was a sure thing. He kept telling her the whole time, I want to propose.
I want to spend the rest of my life with you. This is going to be everything. I'm so in love with you. I mean, you're the perfect woman. I'm going to propose. I can't wait. I love you.
And one of my theories
It was like never ending.
One of my theories now, because it's been pretty consistent for years, the Bachelorette, it doesn't always work for the men, but the Bachelorette, whoever they pick for the first impression rose is the one they give the final rose to. Because I feel like women are often very focused on what they want.
Exactly.
And so if she's going off the first impression of Bryan's fitting the right characteristics, and they have and they have just this chemistry and this happiness together, the mold, exactly.
Right.
He's fitting the mold of the kind of guy she would want to be with, and that's what sticks with her. And I feel like it's harder for women to discount that.
I completely agree, and it's becoming more of a trend that they are picking the first guy that they give their first impression rose to. And I mean, it's, to me, watching this proposal, it was hard to watch. I mean, after watching what her and Peter just went through, after watching her and Peter on the live program, This was literally the most disappointing proposal I have ever seen on the entire Bachelorette franchise that I've watched, because I wasn't happy. I was just so upset about the whole situation that happened beforehand, and that why they got into this situation of why, Bryan proposed and why Rachel accepted it. I couldn't, at that moment, watching that proposal, be happy for them. Something felt off.
I am such a hopeless romantic when I'm coming into the Bachelor shows. To me, it's not about the drama, it's about the romance. Like, that's truly how I feel, and I think you agree with me on this.
I defend this show all the time for the people that are like, oh, that's fake. I'm like, no, listen to these success stories.
Exactly. There are marriages and families from the show, and so to me, I watch it from that perspective. And I always I feel like rooting for the couple in the end. Even, with Bachelor Ben Higgins picking Lauren, I thought, they were a great match. Mm-hmm. They made sense together, and I was happy for them and happy for me because I love JoJo and, want her, feel like she'd be such a fun Bachelorette to watch. So that was like, win-win situation. Here, I'm not happy. I don't know if I'm as happy for them. It ended,
and I wasn't happy.
I don't think they're the best fit of the options she had.
Right. And so this is coming from, veteran Bachelor and Bachelorette watchers. So we've been talking to Joy Marie, and our first look, girls who've been watching for the first time this season. This is their first time watching this show. And I want to see, their take on this. We just talked about how we weren't too sure about that proposal. We aren't too happy with the finale in general and how Rachel handled it. But we want to hear from our first time watchers. Hey, Joy Marie, how are you?
Hey guys, I totally agree with you. I think we here in the coffee shop and Fika Coffee Shop on the Upper West Side are just as disappointed as you guys are back in the studio. I don't know about you, but I just want to shake Rachel and be like, grow up, girl, just a little bit, because I feel like she chose Bryan because he's the hottie, and maybe she always wanted a Bryan when she was growing up in Dallas or something like that. But I feel like Peter is the guy for her, and that's why she got so upset with him last night. I mean, you could cut the tension with a knife. Peter didn't even want to stand next to her. He was like inching away from her after Chris Harrison wrapped that segment. So I'm very disappointed in Rachel, and I just hope that it works out for her. I mean, I've lived long enough to know that not everyone gets married because they want to be the most happy. Maybe she just wanted to get married to get a ring. And so I wish her the best of luck on that. So, Kim, what do you think? Did Rachel just settle for a ring?
I think she definitely settled for a ring. I mean, the only reason why Peter and her split is because he could not say, will you marry me? And so between her sending Eric home and then that happening, that only leaves Bryan, so you have to marry Bryan. It was definitely a settlement.
Bryan is the default on the computer. What about you?
I definitely think she settled. I really feel like they could have maybe talked about a compromise or something, but you can't just... I don't feel like she followed her heart 100%.
That's a great point. And Vivian, you're married. The only one of us out of here that's married, so you know. What is your take on Rachel's decision last night?
Oh, Rachel, I think she made the wrong decision also. It was kind of like a lustful relationship, which she was enjoying, but hey, she got the ring.
Well, if that's all you want, then I think Rachel succeeded last night. But tell me about your reactions from the entire season. This was our first time watching, and it was time intensive. I had no idea it was going to be 3 hours last night. But what was it like? Will you watch again? Will you watch Bachelor in Paradise? What do you guys think? Kim, I'll start with you.
So if Eric is the Bachelor next season, I'm definitely watching. Yeah. So with a condition, but I don't think I will tune in to Bachelor in Paradise. It just seems like too much of a fun house for me, and I don't really see how that would turn into a loving relationship. But as far as the Bachelorette and Bachelor, I mean, I might peek in every once in a while, but this was really taxing emotionally. They really pull you in, and it's like a roller coaster, and you want these things to happen, but once we're watching people live their lives, so we can't dictate what they do with their lives. And the only thing we can do is just be grateful that they extended this portion of their life for us, and we got to watch and go along for the ride.
Thank you, Rachel. And Shani, tell me your thoughts. Are you going to tune in again? Are you going to tune into Bachelor in Paradise? What do you think?
I'm definitely going to tune in again. Also, sorry. The Bachelorette in Paradise, too many shenanigans for me. I am glad that they did show like a well-rounded black woman who can communicate clearly, have a little bit of sass, and say what she wants and know what she wants and be so confident in herself. I think that's something we definitely need to see in the media, and not just even with black women, minority women, period. So I'm very glad. Like, I think Rachel was a good choice for that, and that people can stay true to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Up until a certain point, but up
until the season finale.
Yeah, but I definitely enjoyed this season.
Nice. How about you, Vivian?
Well, for this season, I did like it a bit. The fun house at Bachelor Paradise, I don't think I want to tune into that one, but I'll definitely give Bachelorette another choice. One thing I did like about it, though, the diversity that they brought this season, so A for me. I like that.
Well, I think I'm a lifelong viewer now. I want to see who's the next Bachelor. I want to follow Rachel's life to see if she's going to really stay with Bryan. Girl, I'm going to pray for you on that. I want to see what happens to Peter. Like, I'm invested now. I guess I'm a part of Bachelor Nation. So I just want to send a very special thank you to Fika Coffee Shop for really hosting us the entire season. We've been here for months drinking their amazing coffee. And I just want to thank you, ladies, because you've made it super enjoyable to watch. We have a text chain going. We text each other every night when we're watching this show. It's been so much fun with you guys, and yeah, back to the studio.
Thanks so much, Joy Marie, and thank you, ladies. How interesting that we're all on the same page. We all think that she settled, which is a lot how Bachelor Nation feels, and I feel like it's been a long time since the overwhelming feeling is that the Bachelorette picked wrong.
Right.
But I want to sell you guys on Bachelor in Paradise, because you know what? It's not all shenanigans. Jade and Tanner were on it the other season. They fell in love. They got engaged in the end. They got married, and now they're expecting their first child, a girl, in September. So it can still,
and even
for hopeless
Evan,
romantics like Mel and myself,
yes,
Bachelor in Paradise still can work, you guys.
Exactly. Evan and Carly, they're another ones from last season that did also get engaged, married, and now are also expecting their first child. So, like we said, me and Emily, we're all about Bachelor in Paradise because that one works too. They can find love in that fun house, in that Bachelor fun house. So we have to talk a little bit about our picks. So we've been talking about it all season long, and Emily needs to just gloat just a little bit because she's the only one that picked Bryan. So look at that. She had Peter in there. So out of the final four, Peter was right, but she's the only one that picked Bryan as the final rose. So I mean, congratulations to Emily.
Thank you.
She won. I picked Peter. I mean, I even last night I was still rooting for Peter. I thought that he maybe, I don't know. I thought Rachel would give in. I thought Peter would give in. I thought one of them were going to give in and become together, but they didn't. There's my top four. Dean I did also have in there. Eric I had missing, but
there were
Bryan,
fans online hoping that during the live after the final rose, it would be Rachel and Peter, saying, we punked you guys. We're actually together. Don't worry.
Exactly. I thought that there was going to be like some big surprise, especially when Peter and Rachel never really said goodbye. I thought they were going to reunite on the stage and the show was going to be over. And we just said when Bryan just disappeared. I don't know what I thought was going on. But I mean, our final thoughts on this season. I mean, like we just said, this entire episode of our Bachelorette Forecast finale, Peter, I think, is a wonderful guy. He is level-headed, he's real, he knows what he wants, and he's not going to just give in and budge. And, I really think he's a stand-up guy.
Which is why he's the clear pick for The Bachelor next season.
So we're both picking him for The Bachelor next season.
I know Bachelor Nation agrees.
Everyone in Bachelor Nation, I think, feels exactly how we're feeling today. So many of my friends watch the show. We all have been texting last night, this morning. Everyone is in the same consensus. We all feel the same way. We all feel extremely horrible for Peter. We want Rachel to be happy.
We wish them the best, Rachel and Bryan.
We really wish her and Bryan the best. We hope it works out. We hope they live happily ever after because that's what Bachelor Nation is all about.
But let us move on to watching Bachelor in Paradise couples form.
Exactly.
And then Peter hopefully is the Bachelor next year.
Exactly. So we'll be rooting for Peter, the Bachelor next year. We're going to get really excited to start watching Bachelor in Paradise. And we just want to thank you guys for tuning in all season long. Emily Shapiro with all of her social media knowledge. We're so sad Brad couldn't make it here for the finale. And of course, I'm Mel, and this is my dream, talking about Bachelor and Bachelorette to you guys. So we want to thank you again, and we hope you all tune in to Bachelor in Paradise because it's not going to be a season you want to miss. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.